Alright, welcome back. I'm here for the barbecue. Today I'm going to show you a very simple spatchcocked smoked chicken recipe. This is one that I like to pull out of the hat when I need something quick for a weeknight dinner. In a previous video I showed how to spatchcock a chicken to get it all ready for a dance with the smoker, and I'm going to show you how to smoke up the chicken, starting with the rub recipe I use. So what we have here is we have 2 tablespoons of salt, kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of paprika, the sweet kind, not the spicy kind. And then I've got a teaspoon of ground pepper, a teaspoon of granulated garlic, and a teaspoon of granulated onion. And then we have a tablespoon of brown sugar and a tablespoon of sugar in the raw, or turbinado sugar as it's often called. And so that's what our rub's going to be made out of. It's actually pretty simple, straightforward. I just take it and I pour each of the things inside of a container, like so. Pop them in there. And then you want to kind of give it a good mix with your hands to break up those sugar clumps. Otherwise you'll end up with little clumps of brown sugar in there, and that's not appealing. And then once you've done that, I just put the lid on, give it a good shake. That should be pretty good. All right, now you need a shaker, or at least I like to put it in a shaker at this point. Pop the lid on here. All right, now we're ready to get going on this. So I like to start with the underside of the chicken. Give it a nice, good, generous dusting of rub. You want that flavor all over. Now I should mention that I'm doing this the night before. So what I like to do is give the chicken a nice, good, generous dose of the rub, and then I'll put it in the refrigerator on a cookie sheet and let it just kind of sit overnight and throughout the next day. And what that does, it helps to kind of draw some moisture out of the skin, which is going to help that skin crisp up on your smoker, because otherwise you don't get a lot of crisping, which is unfortunate. So we just want to get this rub all over all the little nooks and crannies. We don't want any little spot to be left without that rub. Alright, like I said, I'm pretty generous with it. Alrighty, there we go. All rubbed up, ready for the refrigerator. Gonna take this overnight and then we'll smoke it tomorrow. Now you could smoke it right now if you want. You don't have to wait overnight. It'll still be very delicious. Left a little bit of rub on the top there. Still be very delicious, but I think that the flavor penetrates more and you get a nice crisper skin if you wait overnight. Alrighty, this little lady's ready to go. She's been sitting in the refrigerator overnight with the rub on. That's helping to dry out the skin, penetrate the meat with flavor. It'll be nice because that's going to really help the skin crisp up a little bit in the smoker. So it's all ready to go. Let's take her out. All right, well, we have our spatchcock chicken ready for the smoker. We're cooking at 325 degrees today. Going to shoot for about an hour and a half. On this smoker, I'm going to cook it skin side down. The reason I'm going to do that is because the heat comes from underneath in this smoker. It's important to get to know your smoker well, know where the heat comes from, know where the hot spots are, because that makes a big difference. It'll help you to understand where to place the meat and when you need to rotate it, where you need to rotate it to. So anyway, this little lady's ready to go. We're looking pretty good on temp on the smoker. Now you could do this on an offset stick burner like this, or I have a pellet smoker too, whatever works for you. But the important thing is maintaining that 325 degree temperature throughout the cook and knowing your smoker, knowing where the hot spots are. So let's get her on there. And I like to do the legs towards the heat source. The reason for that is, and again, skin side down, the reason for that is because that heat source is going to cook those legs, and they can withstand a little bit more heat than the breast can. So we should be in pretty good shape. We'll come back, keep that heat, that temperature maintained, come back in an hour and a half and see what we got. Okay, we're back. It's been about an hour and a half. We're going to check the temperature on this spatchcock chicken to see if we're at about 160 degrees in the thickest part of the thigh. That's the temp we're looking for before we take this off. Let's go ahead and take a look. Ooh, yeah, she's looking pretty. All right, we'll take my ThermoWorks Thermopen. Flip her over. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Alright, let's check those temps. Yep, and she is done. Alright, so we'll take her off and bring her on in. She's ready. Alright, here it is, smoked spatchcock chicken. Looking delicious, nice color, crispy skin. Only an hour and a half on the offset smoker. Delicious results. Look for the recipe on I'mHereForTheBarbecue.com. Thanks for joining me.